What is going on, guys, and welcome to the ROUSH Off-Road Series. We've done this before, and we are doing it again, and we're getting ready to kick things off. Man, race 1, Bark River course. Joey, I'm super pumped about this one. In the house tonight is going to be myself, Joey, Jack Roush Jr., and Jack Roush JP, Jack Roush the third, what I like to call JP3, and we're going to be hearing about how he whooped up on his dad in karting here in a little bit. Before this race kicks off, guys, we're going to qualify in about 7 minutes, and we're going to see some of the best off-road drivers on this platform. And I'm not just saying that to keep you here and get you excited, but it truly is. I mean, we genuinely have the best drivers across the entire iRacing platform right here racing with us, and we actually even have pro guys with us. We're going to be talking about some stuff that ROUSH Off-Road, ROUSH Performance has gotten into with the ROUSH Off-Road Series and the Champ Off-Road guys, and we got some special people racing with us tonight. Connor Berry, Joey, you got this thing all set up through that Haggerty Motorsport Reg. I know it was super easy to set up, and we are here, and it is race day. What do you got to say, man?
Yeah, we're finally kicking off Season 3 here on the ROUSH Off-Road Series. Super pumped to be here, kicking off Bark River International Raceway tonight, and then next week we're going to be going to the Big House Crandon International Raceway, wrap this thing up. So just really fast here this week and next week. I know that we still have some spots open, that if you're interested in racing with us, especially next week, head on over to that HaggertyMotorsportReg.com and search for our event there. You can find us. If you just type in Roush, we'll pop up there. And also, if you just type in any of the sim sports there, they have a little e-racing sim sports category that you can search on, and you'll be able to find us and be able to come race with us. It's a great platform. Just fill out the little sign-up link, and we'll get you on track here with everybody else.
Heck yeah. And let me just tell you about, and I'll share my experience with the whole off-road, Champ Off-Road Series, which was absolutely just mind-blowing. But before then, we're going to check in with Jack Roush and JP3. Guys, you've been karting lately, staying in the racing shape. Jack, why don't you tell us a little bit what's been going on in your world?
So JP just finished up his racing season in go-karts, and we had a rare chance to go to a place called, well, it's Full Throttle now, but it's known as Kart to Kart out here in Michigan. And JP and I got to race together in the same class of kart. I will defend myself and say he had a little bit of a weight advantage, but I was very pleased with his performance there.
JP, tell us how it really went down.
I just went there, learned the track really quickly, and tried to do as good as I can. And I ran the fastest lap of the day that day.
Nice.
Me and my dad both ran our fastest laps with the same kart.
We ran 7 sessions. They were not real races. It was more like qualifying.
Yeah.
You're ranked based on your fastest lap. And JP, it wasn't just us racing against each other. We were against a whole crowd of people.
Yeah.
And I won 3 of the 7 sessions, of course. JP might have won 4. I didn't keep track, but actually I did. He won 4, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
At one point after, on our way home, he was talking trash a little bit, joking about it, and he stopped and he said, "Dad, does that make you feel sad? Am I touching a nerve there?" And I said, "No, you don't understand like how happy I am about you."
It wasn't super hard for us to beat everybody either, because most of the people there were new to karting, or we're just coming there to have fun, and we kind of ruined it for everybody because we're professionals.
That's awesome. All right, guys, we let's see here. So here is the track. Joey, why don't you talk us a little bit about what's going on here at Bark River? Wait, actually, Joey, hold up. I'm so proud of this here for a moment. Guys, if you were to look on a map at Bark River here, because this is what Michiganders do. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I'd like to say it. So this is Michigan here. And then there's like the Upper Peninsula. And I know right now Michigan people are just cringing right now as I'm trying to explain this, but there's Upper Peninsula somewhere up here. That's where Bark River is, way up north. The oop, I don't know what it is. Someone can comment in the section, let me know. All right, back to you, Joey.
Well, it's called Uper.
Uper, there you go. See, I should have came prepared. I don't have notes for this one.
Well, thank you very much for that geography lesson there. I'm sure that it was spot on, and I'll take your word for exactly what's going on there in Michigan. And yeah, you're right. We are here at Bark River tonight, which is in Michigan. This racetrack has 12 turns to it, 1.5 miles long. We're going to be doing the Pro 4 trucks, so these trucks have in excess of 900 horsepower. 6-speed sequential transmissions, 4-wheel drive, and they are doing 100 miles an hour, probably twice a lap here. They can go much faster, but just track dependent here. They're doing 100 miles an hour over 2 huge jumps, which is really cool to watch here. And yeah, this track is really known for fast flowing turns mixed with a couple really tight technical turns over a couple little whoop sections. So you have to be good at both, at carrying the speed and then also reading traffic through these more technical, tighter sections. And with how many trucks that we have on track tonight, it's really going to be about minding your frustration. I don't think that most of these guys are used to having this many trucks on track, and they're going to have to deal with that all night long. I'm sure that we're going to see plenty of wrecks out there, plenty of unintentional contact, but that's how it is when the track gets really crowded, and we'll see what the racing is like tonight.
And one thing to add to that, Joey, so it's like, obviously it's crazy to be like, hey, we're racing with 30 trucks at 900 horsepower, side-by-side type racing. But the crazier part about this, obviously we're talking about this on the form of iRacing, but this really happens in the actual like Champ Off-Road Series, as Roush Performance was heavily involved with 3 of our drivers this year. Jarrett Brooks, these guys were all on the Pro 2 side. We had Jarrett Brooks, Corey Winters, and Keegan Kincaid. And let me just tell you guys, to be able to watch these guys, and I was able to actually go to the Crandon championship race and see Jarrett Brooks be crowned champion Pro 2, and was able to actually watch Connor Berry in the I believe it's the Pro Light series, and Connor's actually racing with us tonight. But what's wild, Joey, is seeing these trucks, and Jack and JP, you guys have seen this, but seeing these trucks side by side jumping 100 feet out by 50 feet in the air, and that's not even exaggerating. These guys were absolutely just wild to watch. So it's pretty cool now to take that experience and now obviously drop it into iRacing and understand that what you see on this game is actually what these trucks are doing. I always thought it was a little bit oh, hey, it's a game, we're jumping a little bit farther. No, guys, these guys are the real deal, and it's pretty amazing to watch.
It is pretty realistic. I'm sorry to step on top of you there, Jack. I'll let you speak, but just to let everybody know, we just started qualifying. It's a 10-minute session where it's open and combined. All of these trucks are going to be on track, so it really is about maximizing your opportunity on track. And Jack, I know that you know about that from the road racing world, and can talk a little bit more about how realistic these trucks are.
Oh yeah, this honestly is a whole different type of racing than what I'm used to. It's kind of like road racing. You know, the tracks are all unique. They're not ovals that are generally, you know, with stock car racing. You know, it's a whole different deal going to road racing. This stuff has elements of road racing, but you spend so much time in the air, man, that's a dimension I've not really dealt with in the real world. I feel lucky to have been playing around with it in the sim, and man, it is intense. And believe it or not, there's a whole lot you can do even when you're in the air for positioning the car, and you do that with your throttle.
Yeah. No, and that's,
you're right, Jack. I know here at Bark River, there's a couple of jumps, turn 1 in particular, that you're really kind of all yawed out in the air, and then Let's see here. I know that it's kind of on the back straightaway here. It's after turn 5. It's this huge jump that you're flat out in 6th gear here at Bark River, just launching the truck at its top speed. And if you catch it wrong, it's not good. But yes, the guys that are in control will launch off of that, lift off the throttle, settle the truck, and then get back onto it to maximize that drive once they land. It's pretty cool to watch.
Definitely. And I think, JP, you and I can talk about our experience as we were racing at Crandon side by side. We were jumping, I don't know, I won't even say because it was so high, but we were jumping so high. We were side by side. I do think he ended up beating me. But, and just to let you guys know, these were RC trucks that we were racing. And JP really actually held his own out on the RC track. But we had some fun there. But I will tell you that I had complete control of that truck. It wasn't quite 900 horsepower, but it was close.
Yeah, mine kept braking because I was going too fast for it to handle.
That's right. We need to get Roush Performance Parts on there from RoushParts.com. Come on, JP, that was your plug. I teed it up for you.
You know, I'm pretty sure that JP would fit very nicely into one of those Polaris UTVs out there on the off-road course that is very popular to race nowadays.
I'd be up for that.
You would, and you would go out there and just no one would want to race. You'd be so quick. And let me just tell you, actually, watching those guys in those UTVs was absolutely mind-blowing as well, because I knew that those things could jump pretty high and pretty far, and I know we're talking about jumping a lot, but that's the craziest part about it. When these things are doing 100+ miles an hour, just launching in the air, it doesn't really add up right. I don't know, the racing that I've seen, you typically want to stay on the ground, but no, hopefully one day, JP, we'll see you maybe take one of these trucks around. That would be pretty cool. All right, guys, we got just under 6 minutes till we go. Checkered flag, green flag racing. Not checkered flag, green flag racing. Joey, let's kind of go through a couple of these drivers that are coming back with us. I recognize a lot of names here that have raced in the past ROUSH Off-Road Series. And then maybe we can talk about some of the newer drivers here.
Yeah, I know that we have quite a few signed up here tonight. I think 37 officially signed up. We'll see how many take to the track. And it looks like there's a few cars laying down some laps out in qualifying right now. And they're slowly starting to roll in. But yes, I am noticing some familiar names. You mentioned Connor Berry earlier, Real World Racer. I'm also noticing Keaton Swain out there. He is a prior Roush Esports Off-Road champion. So good to see him back out there, and I think he's also got quite a bit of real-world experience. Something really neat I was noticing, all of these sign-ups that have rolled in, there's quite a few guys out here that have real-world experience, whether it's in different classes of off-road racing, or even if they're just kind of young, up-and-coming hot shoes out there trying to prove themselves in off-road racing. It's really cool to see everybody, you know, sign up, and they've got real pictures of them in a buggy or a UTV or a pro light truck, and really neat to learn about all of these guys and then see them take that and also just keep practicing here on the digital platform, because trust me, man, practice time counts, and you can't always go practice with your truck.
No, and that's exactly it. As we actually are following Connor Berry as he's throwing down his qualifying laps, this is actually Connor's pro light truck. Like, if you were to look up Connor Berry right now on Google, that's the exact truck that shows up, which is super cool. And the craziest part about this guy is Connor got his start in this racing based upon iRacing. So he started on the iRacing platform, ran some wicked fast times, felt really comfortable on the iRacing track, and what does he do? He goes out and does that same performance in real life. So it's pretty amazing to see that translate from essentially the iRacing platform to reality. And now it's pretty cool that he can come back and race in his truck back on the iRacing side. All right, I see Crystal King out there. Crystal's joining us back. Let me just tell you, I love her helmet. If you guys, there'll be another clip here as 3 minutes till green flag. There it is, that smiley face. That is so cool. What does it say? Saucy Susan. All right, I don't know, Crystal. We might just need to change your name there. We're going to start calling you Saucy Susan here as she is wrapping up qualifying here. Who else we got here?
Looks like right now I'm just, I've got my eyes on 4 different screens at once, just trying to pay attention to it all. And I know that some of these really, really fast cars are having a little bit of difficulty in qualifying right now. And I don't know if it's on the platform side or if it's just trying to pick out a clean lap with everybody on track. But I was going to throw some curveballs later in the race with inverting our grid, but I think even our first race is going to have some really big wild cards with fast guys in the back. But hey, Trev, don't blink twice, but I think I see Connor Berry currently provisional P1.
He sure is. Wow, 112.5. And just to give you guys a reference to timing here, as Joey has actually broke this down, and Jack, JP, we've talked about this in the past as far as like where racing times on iRacing, there's the level. So there's like the average guy jumps on there. He's going to be running anywhere from like a 115 to a 117. That's your average guy. Me, I'm probably like a 120. So I'm not so average. But then you're going to get to your fast guys. Your fast guys are going to be the Joeys, the Jacks, the JPs. They're going to be running those 113 to 115 range, really locking it down. Then there's what we call alien fast, and that's a terminology used in the iRacing world that is just absolutely wicked times, and that's about 112. And as we just mentioned, Connor has already locked down a 112.5 in qualifying. And Joey, you were talking about track conditions during practice. Thing about practice is the track was worn, it was set up just right. We're getting super quick times, but now Connor comes out here and does that on a track that essentially is prepped and doesn't have the worn marks or anything yet.
Yeah, no, this track will reset each session. So you're right, it was really, really worn and blue grooved in practice just from trucks running on it for an hour and a half. And then it was all cleaned off. So we got a brand new clean track, and we're already seeing it getting worn in. But Connor Berry is not alone in that 112 category. I just saw Keaton Swain pop up P2. That is our previous Roush Esports champion in the off-road series. Got Cody Retzlaff also at a 112.8. Josh Edmondson, howler to another familiar face here joining us. He's been around since season 1 in the Roush off-road stuff. Also joining in the 112 club at a 112.98. That's our top 4 currently all in 112s.
Yeah, and check that out. It looks like we have the and guys, you can totally call me after this if I butcher this. Is it Retzlaff? Retzlaff brothers? Is that what we're going with?
It looks like Cody and Parker out there.
Okay, and last name, Joey, go ahead.
I would say Retzlaff.
Okay, Retzlaff.
Yeah. Retzlaff?
Yeah, looks like we might have some brothers out here, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how they do. And those guys were running awesome times during practice. All right, guys, looks like we are gridding up here. Let's see.
Yeah, we are going to be gridding up here at Bark River. So these trucks will be taken to a 2-minute grid timer. We do have our official General Tire starting grid. Looks like we got Connor Berry on pole, followed by Keaton Swain, Cody Retzlaff, Josh Edmondson, and Crystal King rounding out that top 5, followed by Tom Grady, James Burke, Oliver Golding there in the 8th place, followed by Ryan Miller and Joseph Ross will round out your top 10. In the 11th spot, we have Ryan Lindner, Jacob Stuyvesant, another familiar face, Kyle Patey back there in 13th, Jared Kozakrea, Jason Bryant, Joe Nagy, Bruce Lee Weaver, Jacob Rafus, Parker Retzlaff, and then Cody Winecki back there in 20th, Trenton Briley, Robert Henderson, Timothy Messimer, Tommy Donahue, John Nix, Trenton McMillian, another very familiar face, Stephen Baker, Jim Johnson, Max Bauman, and Peachy Campos round out your top 30 on this grid. It will be a rolling start here tonight, guys. We got about 20 seconds left here on this grid timer. Connor Berry's going to have this opening shot at trying to take turn 1 away from everybody, but it's important just to keep your calm and cool collected out here. We're going to be racing for 8 laps, and it's about to get really busy out there, Trevor.
It is, and normally, obviously, we've been seeing that land start at Crandon. Oh man, it looks like Connor there threw it in reverse. Good thing is, it looks like he found the right gear. I'm glad that he figured that out now and not during the start there. But Bout came into, what is that, Retzloff there, Cody. But no, that land rush is absolutely insane. But truly, it's almost just, it's wild to watch. But I'm definitely excited to see these guys form up 2x2. 30, what do we get on this, Joey? 30 trucks are out here, guys.
It looks like, yeah, we got 30 officially that have taken time in qualifying that are going to be out there racing tonight. Now, put that in perspective, most of these off-road races only have about 8 or 10 trucks in them at one time. This is 3 times what they're used to be seeing, and these guys are going to be lining up really slow coming up over this starting grid. It's a little bit odd here at Bark River. They're going to be waiting for the green flag to be thrown, and then we're going to have a racing for all 30 of these trucks, really starting in this tight technical section. Things can get messy pretty fast, but these trucks are lined up 2x2, very clean right now. You ready for this, Trev?
I'm ready. JP, Jackie holding on. It's game
Yes,
time.
sir.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
We
I'm not
got
even...
the 2 and the 21 lined up. Just a little bit of blinking going on here as we got so many trucks on screen, and green flag as they go. Connor Berry gets a great jump. He's going to lead the field down into turn 1 as we see 2 wide racing up over the jump. Pretty clean here through the first third of the field. A couple trucks off track there, but everybody pointing in the right direction. That number 2 truck really just setting the pace out there, followed by Keaton Swain.
And as Joey said, guys, you will see occasional blinking. It will kind of fix itself here, but just as we said, we have so many trucks on track that it'll be a little fun for the first couple laps here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry for just a little bit of technical issues. It's just there's so many trucks here on track, and we're trying to capture them all on screen. Connor Berry still leads the way, followed closely by Keaton Swain, really hounding the back bumper of that truck, using every bit of 900 horsepower. Oh no, it looks like we got the 5th place truck off in the back. And things are just starting to settle down a little bit. Looks like we got Connor Berry followed by Keaton Swain, Cody Retzlaff there in 3rd place, Crystal King 4th, followed by Tom Grady, James Burke, Ryan Miller, Oliver Golding, Ryan Lindner, and Parker Retzlaff right now rounding out the top 10. And let me tell you something, it's really busy back there as we're riding along right now. This is a great shot, Trevor, as we just follow on board with Keaton Swain if we can. Limit our number of trucks on track as we're chasing down Connor Berry.
I gotta say, you know, like, with as many trucks that are on track right now, the fact that we haven't had a major incident is really just testament to what a great pool of drivers we have for this event.
I agree with you, Jack, and I think that some of these drivers a little bit further in the back might have a different opinion, as I see some fenders missing and whatnot, but that's part of off-road racing. Even in real life, these guys will probably go through a whole body in an entire weekend, and rubbing is racing out there, but you also have to be respectful about it. Jack, you know about a little bit of rubbing, don't you?
I try not to, but it happened. No,
Yeah,
I try to race people clean. You know, if they don't race me clean, that's a different story. But even not trying to have contact, you know, you get into trouble.
You're right. You know, you always try to race as respectfully as you can, but some of the moments get pretty close, and not all of them are always in your control. It looks like we got a new fast lap out there by our 3rd place truck, Cody Retzlaff, in the number 525, as Keaton Swain continues to apply the pressure up front to our leader, Connor Berry. Cody's trying to hunt this down and try to make it a 3-way battle for the lead. Really, it looks like the top 4, top 5 trucks are all on rails right now. It gets a little bit busier further back in the pack, but Guys, impressive racing right now by these lead trucks. Last lap from our leader, 1:13.0. Second place, 1:12.6. And then what we talked about, Cody Retzlaff there in third place, doing a 1:12.6 fastest car on the racetrack. We're looking at Crystal King right now.
Saucy
Did
Susan.
a 1:13.0 last time. She's currently in fourth place. Right there in touch with the leaders as she runs, takes that really high line there, trying to make up some speed. Looks like we do have a battle for our second place as our 525 truck has caught Keaton Swain. Trying to apply a little bit of pressure up there to him.
And again, guys, we should start to see this plan out here as far as the glitchiness, but we're kind of working through it here.
Yeah, it's always tough when so many trucks are on track. And we're just trying to cover everybody. I do love this livery. And as we hop on over to our race leader, Connor Berry there between Crystal King. This is the number 2 truck, Connor Berry. We can actually, while we run through the field here, it looks like we got 5 laps to go. We can pick one of these cameras so that way we can check out kind of everybody's paints that are going on right now, Trev.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like this is our leader, Connor Berry, in the number 2 truck. This is number 21, former ROUSH Esports champion Keaton Swain, looking great out there. Currently holding down second place. I know he's got a very close Cody Retzlaff in the 525, pretty much right in his back bumper. Look at those purple wheels. A very, what would you call that? Miami Vice. I like it, you know?
I don't know why Purple People Eater came to mind first, but it is what it is.
I would call it more of an abstract design.
There you go.
And then looks like we got Josh Edmondson here. Another very popular dirt road racer. Fantastic looking Ford, if I might say. Crystal King. Looks like we saw Tom Grady there make a position pass for the 5th spot. The number 535 truck here. Looks like he just got around James Burke on the racetrack. And then nothing, just to remind you guys, out front, nothing has changed. Connor Berry still leads the way out front over Keaton Swain. Really, the top 3 have kind of just mellowed out a little bit. About a 1-second gap between each of our top 3 runners, and then probably about 2 seconds back to our 4th place runner, Christy King. And then James Burke is slowly but surely trying to bring the rest of the field up to the back of that 4th place truck. But Christy King has got the afterburners on right now, and she is flying out there on the racetrack. She is just as fast as this lead group. But what I'm seeing last lap time, our fastest truck on the racetrack was our lead truck, Connor Berry, putting that real world knowledge to use out there.
Yeah, what's interesting too is we don't have a dramatic breakaway of any group out there. One little mistake can change this whole thing very quickly.
You're right, Jack. It's all about staying on the racetrack. And one misstep can certainly end your race. And I know that as we're having a little bit of technical issues here, we're just trying to get all of the trucks on the track properly here. I'll keep you guys informed of the racing going on as we're just trying to work, make sure that we've got a proper stream for everybody to watch right now. Connor Berry still leads the way over Keaton Swain with Cody Retzlaff in 3rd place. And then Crystal King there in 4th place. A little bit of a gap as she's pulling out on the rest of the field to our 5th place runner of Tom Grady. He is followed by James Burke in the number 7 truck. The 051 of Ryan Miller is in 7th position, followed very closely by Trenton Briley, Parker Retzlaff, and Oliver Golding. Really, this is an incredibly close battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th on the racetrack as these guys are going too wide right now. Through turn 2, turn 3, there's some bumping and banging and door slamming going on, and oh no, looks like the 02 of Parker Retzlaff ended up getting turned there. just 3 trucks going into the same spot never really works that well. Jack, have you ever experienced something like that? Three cars going into one?
Yeah. Yes, I have. And sometimes it goes good, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, these are really big trucks, and the area of the racetrack that they were going through is this little itty-bitty chicane that you could really only run single file, maybe 2 wide if there's a lot of give and take. And they tried to make 3 go into 1 right there, and that just didn't work. But unfortunately, it looks like Parker got the bad end of the stick there. We got Oliver Golding. Ryan Lindner still holding down the 11th place right now. Looks like he'll be promoted up to 10th after that little incident there. And I think we got cars back on track on the screen there. Awesome job to our producer, Trevor, right here in the booth, getting that fixed for us. And right now we're watching our leader on the final lap of this first 8-lap race. Connor Berry really stretching his lead out to 1.8 seconds. Impressive margin right now over second place of Keaton Swain. Cody Retzlaff there in 3rd place, really applying the pressure, but right now it's all about Connor Berry just keeping calm, cool, collected, and trying to take home this race win. Is looks like Cody only has a couple corners left to try to make the move on Keaton Swain, and I think he's just a little bit too far out front. There is a lapped car in front of our leader. Hopefully he doesn't cause too many variables out there, but looks like everything will end up nice and smooth out here as Connor Berry will take the win here in heat race number 1, followed by Keaton Swain and Cody Retzlaff rounding out your podium.
Man, that front group, I gotta say it, I can't really identify a single mistake out there. Those guys are just really precision drivers in the sim.
No, and Connor is absolutely used to that position there. He knows what to do with that high stress to keep things cool and keep that truck under him, which is pretty amazing to watch as he does both on iRacing and actually out on the track here. But big win for Connor to kick off the ROUSH Off-Road Series here. Joey, why don't we talk about the format of this? So we're going to go to a quick break here, and then the drivers are going to be heading back out on the track for how many more laps?
Yeah, well, there's just a very, very short break here. There's not even a warm-up here. So the drivers are just going to kind of sit on pre-grid for a few minutes. And then it's going to be another 8-lap race, just like what we watched here. But the whole caveat is Connor Berry, who just won, he's now going to be starting 10th because we're going to do a top 10 invert of these guys. So that means Connor's starting 10th, Keaton's starting 9th, Retzlaff is starting 8th. These guys are going to have to work their way up through the field. It's not just going to be clean track out there for them anymore.
All right, so yep, there is going to be, oh, well, this is, I guess, the original, but actually the results board here is what's going to show us the kickoff here. You said it's going to start with Edmondson there, Joey?
Yeah, so our 10th place finisher will have the pole position here.
Awesome. Right. As these guys looking like they're going to grid back up here. And guys, and I apologize for that beginning of the stream there. Kind of got a little glitchy, but it looks like we've got it resolved here for the most part, but it happens time to time. All right, let's jump down to see how Barney is. If no one knows who Barney is, that's Barney. He's always on time. He's always here. He's a hard worker. Everyone meet Barney.
I've known Barney a long time. He's a great guy.
He is. He can wave that flag. Gets it done.
Yeah, well, we got trucks lining up on pre-grid right now. And I know that there's just going to be a couple more minutes of free time. And these guys just got done with, guys and gals, I'm sorry, just got done with that race out there. Hey, JP, so let's say you just finished and won a race, and now you're forced to start 10th. What's your strategy?
Just to hit everybody off the track. Just kidding. I wouldn't. My strategy would be to pressure people right behind them. Sometimes if it gets a little tough, most of the people towards the back might be a little slower and I'll be able to get around them easier. But when I get to the front, what you want to do is you want to like slightly bump them or go on the inside for just a second so they know you're there, and then try to get them pressured so they make a mistake and you can make your move.
Yeah, that's a good strategy out there, always to apply that pressure. It looks like we got the pace car leading these trucks on the pace lap again. And these guys are going to be doing 8 more laps. Once again, Josh Edmondson right here is going to be leading the field, it looks like, to the green flag. All of these cars are filled back up, hopefully with fuel, and ready to race again.
We have seen that mistake happen quite a few times there, Joey. They got the old qualifying gas tank come out here, run a couple laps, and back to the pits they go.
Yes, you're right. You know, I've been guilty of it myself, but hopefully everybody has their game face back on, and these trucks are once again lining up 2 by 2. Looks like we got most of these guys on screen here. Josh Edmondson right there leading the way. They're going to be getting the green flag here shortly as they start to round this next left-hand turn, and that's really when all 900 horsepower is going to go straight forward, going to have a ton of drive, and there's Barney waving that green flag. Josh gets a great jump, but already 3 wide coming up over start-finish. Somebody made a very aggressive move.
Let me just tell you
go
guys,
back and take a look at that.
Yep, and there's one of the Retzlaff brothers, Parker here. I'm digging his attitude here. They were lining up. He pushed Josh, said, "Hey, give me a little room here." And I mean, when you want that position, you take it, especially in these trucks. You got body panels; they just fall off and grab the spot.
That is the 02 of Parker Retzlaff out front there. If you remember, it was the 525 of Cody Retzlaff in our previous race. So it looks like both of these Retzlaff brothers showing impressive speed out there. And 58 of Josh Edmondson really showing the nose, taking the fight to the lead right now. Remember, he did start on pole for this race, but this track has been reset. It's going to be a little bit slippery out there as everybody starts to try to race their way around, and they try to avoid these whoops at the end of the track here. Really look at this 58 truck of Josh Edmondson carve the inside of this corner. He really has some speed right now. I wonder where he's going to start to make his move, as it looks like Parker's got some speed out front too.
And as we see, look at Connor Berry already into the top 5, guys. Remember, he started 10th here. We're not even a completed lap in, and Connor's already taken into the top 5 here as he's getting ready, as he did, take the spot from Tom Grady.
Yes, already up into the 4th place, and if you look, he positioned his truck perfectly to get the inside line in that chicane, and man, look at this. Connor Berry is on a march up to the front, but hey, is that Christy King up there as well? I think I see her. She's just following Connor right through. Pretty smart driving on her part, followed by Keaton Swain there in the 6th place. Tom Grady back in 7th. Jacob Rafus back in 8th place. Robert Henderson and Jacob Stiverson currently rounding out your top 10. Parker Retzlaff still out front, followed by Josh Edmondson in the number 58 as they're coming around to complete lap 2 of 8 here in race number 2 at Bark River.
You know, Joey, as you were just talking about that corner, how they try to get around what section are we calling that there? Like rhythm section or the... Help me out here. What are those things called?
You're going to have to be more specific because you're just talking.
Those roundy bumps things. As you said, they try to avoid them as they come up on the side. It almost looks like it's more dangerous to go on the outside and use that almost as a berm than it is to almost just, I feel like you can just double up on those.
Yeah, so in real life versus the sim, it's a little bit different. In real life, you don't have that outside berm that you can ride. You do have to take the jumps or the whoops and just kind of swallow your pill there. But Here in iRacing, these guys are known to exploit the track where they can, because that's allowed here in the sim racing community. And that's what they're doing, is they're just using the track to the maximum lap time. And if you watch the truck right here, he'll just kind of ride the berm up driver's right, go up around those whoops, and off he goes, and everybody's doing it out there. It's totally legal, part of the lap.
Man, and seeing these guys come around the corner, I get like flashbacks to Crandon. And the only one thing that I could ever think about when I was watching these trucks was controlled chaos, because that's almost what it's like. You're talking 900 horsepower, guys, of just these General tires just absolutely gripping this dirt, ripping in there. And as there's as chaotic as it looks, it's so controlled by these drivers, which is super amazing. And it's pretty cool to see them come to this platform and do the same thing.
Don't look now, but we've had a change of position for number 4. Christy King has gotten by race 1 winner Connor Berry on the racetrack. This is one heck of a battle. Let's leave the camera right here for this battle on 4th place, as it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks all in one shot. This is some intense racing. Everybody's battling for position out here, and really, this is kind of a jockey for who gets to start where on this next race.
And Crystal King, I mean, she has always been an up front runner, and she's always doing it with a smile on her face.
Literally on the helmet. Look at Connor Berry really get that drive out of that final corner, though. He rode the whoops really nicely. Crystal King is going to hold that nice racing line, though, as they dive up over turn 1. Really tricky turn here at Bark River, as you see them use all of the racetrack. The trucks are doing 100 miles an hour up over these jumps, and it's a very fast sweeping corner. We see the 2 different sides of Bark River here. 100-mile-an-hour corner, followed by an incredibly fast chicane, followed by, check this, a 6th gear, flat out, all the way on the throttle jump to launch these trucks as far as they can. Hard on the brakes. This corner is deceivingly fast. It's actually 4th gear through there. Slow the trucks down a little bit more. This is where this track starts to get more technical, as it looks like we got Keaton Swain come up, make a move on Connor Berry. That shuffles him all the way back to 6th place now. Keaton Swain on his way up towards the front. To complete this lap here, this is a really technical section, back down into probably 3rd gear for most of these trucks. And then once again, it stays slow. Really try to ride the bumps up through here into another really, really slow 3rd gear complex. A little bit of contact. Keaton Swain getting a little bit of frustration out there. He wants his way by. These are all really fast race trucks out here, and it's just a matter of how can you get by one another?
Yeah, you're not kidding. And obviously, I would rather be in Parker or Josh's position on 1 and 2, but also I wouldn't mind being James Burke right now. No one's around me. I got this massive battle in the back between Keaton, Connor, and Crystal, and I'm just kind of hanging out right here in 3rd spot. I'm looking to get on the podium, shake around a drink, and party that night. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think Keaton, Connor, or Crystal is going to allow that James to get away with that podium spot. I know that they're racing for each other right now, but as they all are battling, it looks like they're gaining some time on James.
You're right. This is the best battle on the racetrack, as really Connor Berry and Keaton Swain are going at it, as well as Christy King and Tom Grady. They have caught James Burke. That is the final spot on the podium for this race number 2. We're coming up to get to 2 laps to go this time by the stripe, but let me tell you, the 21 truck and the 2 truck have been just on top of each other all race, just trying to work their way through. These were our top 2 finishers last race, so they would have started 9th and 10th, and they're all the way up to 4th and 5th right now. Shows you how tough the competition is, that really any of these trucks in the top 10 have the speed to win.
No, definitely, and we know that they are carrying very similar speeds. It's all they're all in sync in these corners, and you can almost see when someone makes a mistake as someone slightly comes out of sync or goes for the corner a little wide or gets that truck around a little bit too much. And what's wild is you fall off just a hair, I mean, that could be a full second on the track here pretty quick with these trucks. But it looks like James Burke in that third position, he's holding on. And as we close out 2 more laps to go, as Connor's starting to take up that mirror of Burke.
Yeah, nothing has changed out front. The 02 of Parker Retzlaff has a pretty commanding lead of over 3.5 seconds to number 58 of Josh Edmondson. Really, the battle is right here with the number 7 and the number 2 trucks. That is James Burke and Connor Berry fighting it over for the final podium position as Connor Berry just taps his little tailgate there on the wall. Barney waving the white flag. That means there's only 1 lap left of action here. If Connor Berry wants to stand on that podium for the second race, he's going to have to find his way around the number 7 truck. It looks like we got the 02 truck, our leader currently on screen right now. Really had a flawless race out front. He's got no pressure behind him, just hitting his marks out there. He's got a couple of lap trucks in the way, but I don't think they're going to be an issue given that he's got nearly 4 seconds over this number 58 truck that we have now on screen of Josh Edmondson. Really, the battle is still that third place of James Burke and Connor Berry. I know that they are side by side. It looks like Connor Berry's going to make the move, get up into third place as he sweeps down the inside. He is going to take away that podium spot in one of the final corners of this race here, but James Burke's going to do everything he can, just loses the nose there. Connor Berry keeps the truck rotated. I think he's got that podium position secured as long as he doesn't make any mistakes here in the final corner. Impressive driving from that number 2 truck, our race winner, but the number 02, Parker Retzlaff, our race number 2 winner, followed by the 58 of Josh Edmondson, and then Connor Berry coming home in third place. Looks like we got the 98, and then several others coming through here. James Burke in 4th place. Keaton Swain rounding out your top 5. Look at Barney, so enthusiastic with that checkered flag out there. All of these trucks crossing the finish line. I know that we can't get everybody on the screen during the racing action, but loving seeing these Roush trucks. Look at this one. I believe that one's called Eruption Green. Isn't that what that color is called there, Trevor?
Yeah, let's go with Eruption Green. That sounds good to me.
And then looks like we got Race Red and then another blue back there. But I'm loving these Roush-themed trucks. As there's Trenton McMillian finishing out the race here. Always good to have him join us. And guys, let me tell you, we are going to take just a quick little break here. Thank you to our partners that make all of this possible: General Tire, Polaris, Haggerty Motorsport Reg, McConey Setup Shop, and American Wheelman. And we'll be back to the action here in just a few.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairground Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle. Really?
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Alrighty, and back to the action. Here we are. Man, I'll tell you one thing. Setups, iRacing setups make or break you. You have to have a competitive setup to be competitive in iRacing. There's the margin of error to these stock vehicles to these fully set up vehicles just makes a world of a difference. So I might, well, Makoni can probably only help me out so much, but maybe you at home, they can help you out a little bit more. I know they helped Joey out quite a bit. It keeps him on the track now, which is good. So we're working with him.
Yeah, no, if you guys are interested in any setups and upping your game here on the iRacing service, Makoni Setup Shop, as you just saw in that commercial, is a great way to do it. Not everybody has the time to dive into setups and dedicate their time in the sim. And Makoni makes it easy, whether you're oval racer, road course racer, if you want to find a little bit more lap time, or even just make the cars a little bit easier to drive. That's definitely a great way to do it, so make sure to go over and check them out. And yeah, just shout out to all of our sponsors and partners out there. General Tire, I know that if you guys are looking for any sort of off-road tires or even some new tires for maybe your ROUSH F-150 or ROUSH Super Duty out there, I'm pretty sure that General Tire can get you hooked up. And always a big shout out, like you said, Haggerty Motorsport Reg. If you're looking to host anything out there, whether that's virtually or in person, gives you a great source to just kind of host your own event, make it easy to get everybody signed up all in one place. And then also give a shout out to American Wheelman and Polaris. I know that Polaris is always a big one on these off-road courses. And American Wheelman, always happy to have them out here and sporting these off-road trucks right now, as we see Trev has that checkered flag.
I'll be waving it. You know, Barney, I'm coming for your job, Barney. I'm coming for it.
Well, these trucks right now, Trevor, are just about to end their 5-minute warm-up session. So it's just kind of like a little break here that these guys have, and then they're going to be gridding up. And once again, we're going to have a top 10 invert. So Connor Berry did all of that work to make his way all the way up to third position. Well, guess what? He's going to have to go further back and do it all over again. So he's got another uphill battle, but that 02 truck, our race number 2 winner, Retzlaff, he's going to be starting all the way back in 10th place. What I'm seeing, kind of ironic, race number 2, 10th place finisher, his brother, the other Retzlaff.
Oh.
So one Retzlaff swapped for the other. One's going to first, one's going to 10th. It's getting a little confusing out here.
I looked up here, and Cody was running solid. I think maybe something happened in that last race where it kind of pushed Cody back a little bit. But now that Cody's starting from that P1 position, I think we're going to see some exciting things going on here. So also, I did see Connor. He hopped on here for a minute. It showed that he was watching. I think Connor's mom as well. Such an awesome family. Love the support all the way around. But it looks like Connor was jumping on. Connor, you better get back in that truck. You got some racing to do, as Connor's picking up 8th place here. Man, someone's really warming up that engine, Joey. I don't know if you heard that, but a little concerned.
Hey, man, sometimes you just got to get that oil temp up, you know? But this is the final race of the night. Everybody is back out there. I don't think we've had really anybody disconnect tonight, so I think we got another 30 trucks taking the grid. This is going to be exciting. Another 8 laps tonight, and I know that this track has been very busy, and if you guys competed tonight and are going to come back and watch this broadcast, I want to say thank you for all of the clean racing that we've been seeing so far. I know it can get tempers pretty high out here on these off-road trucks, but this has been some great racing. Jack, I know you mentioned it earlier. Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, these guys, I'm really impressed with the driving I'm seeing out here. And, you know, looking at this track, you know, it's to drive consistently, to not drive into other people, really does take a lot. You know, when you look at a dirt track like this track is constantly changing, even more than it does on pavement, like for you and I, Joey. You know, the dirt will rub off, you know, the soft dirt will move aside. also, if you hit a bump just the wrong way, if you look at the track, there's bumps all over the place. If you hit a wrong sequence of bumps, you're turned a little bit the wrong way. It can be so easy to get a truck turned sideways to, even to turn it upside down. And, these guys are just handling all of that chaos very well.
Yeah, as it looks like we have green flag on the racetrack. The number 525, Cody Retzlaff, leads the way up over turn 1. All of these 30 trucks jumping up over turn 1. Flat out 6th gear, 100 miles an hour if we look. This track is so slippery right now. It has been reset as all of these 900 horsepower trucks go diving down into turn 2. Side by side, a little bit further back in the pack. Looks like we're going to have side by side through the turn 5 chicane. One truck up over on its lid, a couple over playing turtle in the back, but really, right now, out front, it is Cody Retzlaff followed by Jacob Rafus. These two are battling out for the lead, and Jacob, I know, is very fast in practice. We haven't seen him battling up for the lead here in the first 2 races, but now is his chance. Looks like we've still got Cody Retzlaff leading up front, followed by that number 13 truck of Jacob Rafus as he puts a door to the leader, saying, hey, I want this inside line here. He's definitely showing speed. As we come around to complete lap 1 here, the trucks get a little bit more single file as 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th are all kind of in a line, and then it gets really busy back there about 10th on back as the racing gets double file. But right now, still our leader Retzlaff, followed by Rafus, number 535 in 3rd place. Tom Grady has always been up there. Good showing by Tom tonight. He's been up there in all 3 of these races, followed by, once again, Christy King. It's like a popularity contest, and she keeps winning.
I think it is.
I think that's Keaton Swain. Yeah, that great truck. Keaton Swain got it mixed up in that chicane, which is so easy to do, and just got sent off track there. That's probably going to be it for his night, but Christy King and Connor Berry once again attached at the hip. This is just like the previous race.
Deja vu. And let me just tell you, I don't think that Crystal's going to allow Connor to come around her. I know Connor has the talent, but Crystal now knows his style of race and everything. I think Saucy Susan's going to come out. That happy face might turn to a frown. She's going to get serious here.
They swapped positions a couple times in race number 2, had some great racing there. I expect the same out of them right now here in the final race. Nothing has changed up front. Still our 525 truck leading our 13 truck. It looks like Connor had a great run, a little bit of contact going there into turn 2. He's going to try to bully his way into the inside line. Looks like he's got the position over Christy King. What a fantastic move from the number 2 truck of Connor Berry, showing really why he worked his way up through the field. But look at that, Christy King not letting this battle go. She wants to take it too wide, but Connor Berry just has the racing line, and she doesn't have any advantage there. She's just going to have to tuck up underneath the back of this 2 truck as she gets a little bit of a door slam from the other Retzlaff. That's Parker trying to make his way into this battle. And look at this. She's got the inside line back on Connor Berry, trying to take this position back, and she does. Still too wide action from these. Fantastic going on, and the other number 02 of Parker is getting in here. A little bit of contact. He's really bullying his way through. Crystal King says, no, not on my watch. He really just kind of pushed his way through there on Crystal King.
Yeah, I gotta say, the battle between Crystal and Connor, I think they were about 2 inches apart that whole time, and not a bit of contact. Pretty impressive.
You're right. They definitely showed some great sportsmanship out there on the racetrack. Once again, nothing's changed up front. Cody Retzlaff in the 525 leads Jacob Rafus by about a half a second right now, so the battle is quite close, but Jacob hasn't been able to apply too much pressure to our leader out front right now, but only 5 laps remaining. These two really have separated themselves from our 3rd place runner of the 535 truck, Tom Grady. followed by Connor Berry that we've talked so much about tonight in 4th place. He's making his way back up. He's going to try to get back on the podium for all 3 of these races tonight. Kind of a little bit of deja vu from what we used to see out of Cam Peterson in previous series.
Oh, man. The fish out of dirt. Cam Peterson.
That's right.
Let me just tell you, Cam, I would love to see Cam compete with these guys, because as we're seeing these 3-way battles of, as Jack was saying, within 2 inches of battling, we would absolutely see that with Cam. And we talk about sportsmanship a lot on our channel. I genuinely feel like, I don't know, maybe if they feel obligated to just race clean, but we always get stuck with such great drivers. And I couldn't even imagine throwing Cam into the mix on what type of level of racing would happen at that point.
He is always a rocket, but look up front right now. We have a 2-wide battle for our lead between Retzlaff and Rafus. Jacob has really been able to apply the pressure to our leader this last half a lap, and he's going to take an inside look here into turn 6. Looks like he's going to have the truck position, but that's going to leave the inside line for the 525 leading into this section. We'll see if Jacob can do the classic over-under. Looks like he's out a little wide on the racetrack. He's going to have to pick the next spot to try to make his way around our leader, but that is just the first of many attempts that I think we're going to see the number 13 truck take at a race win tonight.
Man, we might see as the Parker, one of the brothers, just comes into the top 5 here. We might see a battle off of the brothers here with Cody and Parker, which would be pretty cool to see round out the 3rd race of the off-road series.
Connor Berry has already made his way up into 3rd place. Still the closest battle on the racetrack is our lead right now. And I know that we only have about 3 laps to go. It'll be interesting to see if Connor Berry can close up to this lead gap. And more important to know, only 3 laps left. If these 2 front trucks start to battle, that's really going to slow them down and reel in that 3rd place truck. We'll see what happens here. Only a couple minutes remaining as it looks like that number 13 once again takes a look down the inside. He really has the front end of this truck tuned nicely. He can get the truck turned, but he's still got to get up alongside the number 525 to sort of make any move. And Cody Retzlaff has not made any mistakes that I've seen out there tonight. He's making it really tough to try to get up to him.
Yeah, traditionally with racing, when people are battling, they slow each other down. But man, tonight, all these battles, it's almost like they just keep speeding up.
Yeah, they definitely do. But I'll be honest with you, we got 3 laps to go. Jacob has all of his panels on his truck. I don't know if he's racing hard enough.
He's racing plenty hard out there, but something that I'm watching right now that we haven't seen yet really affect our race is we have lapped trucks right now. We've only run into lap traffic maybe in the last couple corners, but we got 2 laps left as it looks like the number 13 truck has an inside line on our leader. This could be the move that he's waiting to make, and we also have a lap truck that's going to get in the way of this racing. This is going to get exciting. Looks like Retzlaff manages to hang on miraculously there. I don't know how he did that. That number 13 truck had a great run, great position, but awesome racing out of these 2. But don't look now. Connor Berry is now less than 2 seconds back in 3rd place as more contact happens between our front 2. They're battling it out. Only about 2.5 laps left. Really only 1.5 laps left remaining here at Bark River tonight at the ROUSH Esports Off-Road Series Season 3. We got the number 525 of Cody Retzlaff out front. A few more lapped trucks in the way. Good sportsmanship pulling up out of the way of our lead pack. Not getting interfered in the battle. Always great to see that. As we get the white flag, there's Barney.
Attaboy, Barney.
Waving that white flag. He's always so enthusiastic. We got the 525, followed by the 13, followed by the 2. That's our top 3 right now. This is our closest battle on the racetrack for the win. Cody has really kind of stretched out maybe a little bit of a gap. I say a little bit of a gap, and I see only a 1/4 of a second. It ain't much between the 2 right now.
And it's getting closer.
It is. This is where Jacob was really faster in the last couple laps, diving down into the inside of this turn. We'll see if he takes advantage again. There's a big lunge out of the 13 as he makes his way up to the quarter panel of our leader on the 525. Just a couple of corners left. Another little door slam here from the second place runner of the 13 truck, staying pretty respectful out there. Cody not getting rattled one bit. There's only 3 turns left for our number 13 truck to try to make a move on the race win tonight. All of this stuff gets really technical as both of these trucks drive really deep into that final turn. Only a couple 2 left-hand turns left up over these whoops. It looks like Jacob gets a little out of shape. I think that's going to do it. The number 525 just needs to keep it together, and he's going to take home the race win of heat number 3 tonight. Cody Retzlaff followed by Jacob Rafis, followed by, once again, the number 2 truck of Connor Berry on the final spot of the podium.
Man, what great racing tonight.
I agree, Jack, as we still have trucks coming around to finish, as Barney does not quit. He just swapped that white flag for the checkered flag. Look at him leaning over that railing. That is great form if I've ever seen it.
You know, guys, if you're watching right now, you got to hit that heart button for our friend Barney. He comes out here, does his absolute best, and he'll never let you down. Let me just tell you that. Man, what a race. Talk about controlled chaos. 30 trucks to kick off our ROUSH Off-Road Series Season 3. I can't even imagine. I'll be honest with you. I think as we kicked off Season 1, I thought, hey, maybe we're going to hit off-road once, kind of be done with it. But it was way too much fun, and we're already here on Season 3, and who knows, we might be talking about Season 4, Season 5 as we go along, because this is such fun racing right here on the Roush Performance Esports channel, the official esports channel of Roush Performance, and we are so thankful that you guys were able to hang out with us tonight. But don't forget to like, comment, and share. Comment your favorite moment, how funny I am, and then also don't forget to share. Share and tell your friends what's going on over here on the Roush Performance Esports page. And guess what? I've seen a couple comments like, man, I need a sim rig. Go get you a sim rig and get on race with us. And man, you could rub fenders with the pros and other great drivers out here. But first off, I want to thank you guys and thank all the drivers that came out and put on a heck of a show for us tonight.
Definitely, you know, we mention our partners all the time, but our biggest partner that we don't mention too much is ROUSH Performance. So thank you to ROUSH Performance for letting us put all of this fun stuff on. Looks like we got the final results of heat number 3. That is the number 525 truck of Cody Retzlaff taking home that win, followed by the number 13 of Jacob Rafis. Jacob, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You can message me if I butchered it all night long. Followed by the number 2 of Connor Berry. And that's followed by the number 02 of Parker Retzlaff, rounding out the top 5. A consistent performance from Tom Grady tonight. And as we look at the rest of the field as they go through, I just want to say thank you to all 30 of the competitors that showed up tonight. I know that it gets very busy out there on the racetrack. Things don't always go smoothly, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who showed awesome tonight. The racing was fantastic to watch, and I hope that everybody had fun tonight watching along as well.
I know I had fun. Jack, I know Jack had fun. JP had so much fun that he had to leave. He was like, well, it was way too much fun.
So we opened the show with JP, and now that JP is gone, we'll give Jack a chance to tell his side of the story. So did JP really beat you 4-3, or how did that go down, Jack?
Yeah, I knew I was going to be in trouble last Sunday, but I had to take him. You know, go-karts don't have much power, and I'm going to give some excuses here. But, you know, he knows how to drive. He's been driving go-karts since he was 5. You know, I pretty much try to genetically engineer him to be a race car driver, but he does a really good job. And it was a special day because it was the first time that we got to hop in the same type of carts and go up against each other with other people on the track too. And you know, I knew he'd do extremely well. And he did not disappoint. You know, it was really a great day to see that. You know, it really rewarding to see him drive so strong out there.
And
It's always fun to follow JP's go-karting career. I know that he's really progressed up through the ranks very quickly. I've watched him out there at the East Lansing go-kart track, dominating the field out there. And I can't wait to see what the future holds. And to ask you guys a question, it looks like we've got a couple of guys, not our podium guys, but just a couple of guys who have been out there racing tonight. Would you like to do some interviews? Do you want to talk to them, or are we going to wrap up here?
Well, I'm good with either or. If Joe, if you want to jump out and try to chat with them and see if they want to come in, I think
that sounds like a plan.
Jared's in there and looks like Timothy there. But no, Jack, it's so cool for you to be able to share that story with us, because I think it is, as yes, it's a defeat, but it's also a huge win to be able to teach your son whatever that is, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, and at the point where you start to see that shift in, all right, now it's your turn, I think is pretty neat. And I knew the first time that I met JP that shift was going to happen relatively quick. He knows exactly what he wants to do, which is pretty neat. But look forward to seeing more of JP. Hopefully, we were talking about, I know, Jack, you and I had discussed potentially getting here on the iRacing platform, which I think would be super cool to be able to see that. So we'll definitely have to keep tabs on JP, and Jack, we'll keep tabs on you too to make sure we keep you winning as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, TBD on next week. It'll probably be either me or JP on the track, but we both got some work to do to get up to speed in the sim. So it's time to practice for sure.
Heck yeah. All right,
Looks
Joe.
like I was able to grab Timothy Messimer, who was out there all night. I know that he was really in the thick of things during all three of the heat races, and I was lucky enough to see him race last week, also during another off-road series, which he was always up front at. Timothy, how did you like your first Roush Esports event?
It was awesome. It was amazing.
That's always good to hear out there. I know it was very busy. Are you used to having 30 trucks on the track at once, or is that just way over the top for you?
It made it difficult coming from the back, but it's not racing unless it's difficult. It was fun. It's surprisingly clean for 30 trucks, I might say. So I enjoyed it. I think... I don't think you can fit them at Crandon 30, but as many as you can, throw them on there. The more the better.
I don't know, Timothy.
Well,
I think we're going to try that, though. I think we're going to go 30 on that land rush. It might be a little wild, and you're going to have to hang on. But it looks like you, excuse me, hung on pretty well there.
Yeah. During the first one, it kind of had a little internet issue, and then came back for the second one, started 30th, and just put my head down, drove to 12th, and then have a good starting position for the main. Got lucky to get 8th place.
I think, yeah, I saw 7th or 8th on the results there. Yeah, you worked your way up quite a ways.
It was fun.
Yeah, great job. Great job out there, Timothy.
Well, thank you.
Well, Timothy, before I let you go, hopefully we see you next week at Crandon. Was there anybody that you wanted to say hi to while we got you in the booth here?
Timothy, you better say your mom. Hi, Mom. Do that.
Just pretty much everybody on the truck.
Heck yeah.
All y'all for putting it on. It was a lot of fun. All my guys over at TWR, I started iRacing as a dirt oval driver, driving nothing but super late models. And in the last season and a few weeks, I've fallen in love with these trucks, and it's all thanks to them.
Heck yeah. No, they've done a great job. Solid finish there, Timothy.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you out here at the Roush Esports events, and hope to see you in the future at Crandon here in just a week. And that's going to wrap it up for our show tonight. I know that No matter where you were in the racing tonight, whether it was up front, in the middle, or in the back, I know things can get hectic out there, and I thought it showed really well for having 30 trucks on the track, and I'm really excited for next week, Trev.
I am too. Crandon is going to be absolute. I said it again, controlled chaos. It's going to be so much fun, and I really look forward to next week. But before we sign off, guys, I kind of want to let everyone know on a current initiative that actually Roush as a whole is currently working on. So this is actually a STEM / robotic lab for Central Durfee, which is a K-12 campus, and it's part of the Detroit Public Schools. So it's local to Roush Performance, all of our buildings around the Livonia, Detroit area. But we're actually currently raising money to build a STEM and robotics lab. If you guys really actually look into STEM research, which I think every driver that you see here, including obviously all of us in the broadcast, in some way, shape or form, we're involved with STEM daily, especially obviously as in automotive and the racing world. But we are actually raising material to build out this STEM and robotics lab for this school, which is awesome opportunity, guys. We were able to go down there and kind of see the current situation that they're in, and we just want to make sure that everyone has the ability to learn STEM and get excitement around that. So then they become engineers. So then they become race car drivers and race managers. And there's so many outlets out there, but obviously they have to start off with STEM. So what I'm going to do is drop the link actually in the comment section of all of our platforms. And be sure, if you can donate, we appreciate it. If not, just go ahead and share it. That's huge for us. But again, we appreciate everyone watching the Roush Performance Esports Off-Road Series Season 3. And we will see you guys all next week at Crandon International. We'll see you guys.
And if I could just say one thing on the STEM program, Trevor, you've actually taken some great initiative on that program, and it is a really special thing. It, like Trevor said, it's for kids that otherwise would not have opportunities. It's in an underprivileged community. They could really use some help. It can really change kids' lives. And it really means a lot. So if you have interest, please take a look. It's a big deal.
Definitely. No, thanks, Jack. Definitely something that the whole Roush community is standing behind, and we want to make it better for others. So, all right, that is it. Off to next week. We'll see you guys next time, and appreciate everyone watching. We'll see y'all.